Hi everyone and welcome to today's oracle reading. The challenge, Elder of the Earth. This card represents what modern mystics call the Earth School, where you have been a student but now you have reached mastery. You have gained all the relevant experience to become a master, to become a teacher yourself, to become an inspirational and guiding force in the lives of others. Now, this also leads us to a certain dichotomy because can we ever be masters in the true sense of the word? Because evolution never stops. We never stop learning, we never stop experiencing, we never stop witnessing mysteries, enigmas. We never stop asking questions, so we can never become an ultimate master, at least in this Earth School, because Earth School involves that there isn't an end. There isn't an end to evolution, there isn't an end to change. Everything flows, so the master has to flow with the changes, the master has to flow with whatever the universe configures itself into. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that you cannot share your wisdom, you cannot share your experiences, you cannot share however you interpreted reality and all its experiences personally with others, because the universe and even Earth School, even our planet, has different archetypes. So you basically mastered your archetype, and that is what makes you a teacher. That is what makes you a guide in the life of others. Now, this doesn't involve that you're more special than other people. It just involves that you have worked hard all your life to develop a sense of awareness which cannot be denied that it's more high level, it operates on higher frequency than those of other people, and this is what actually makes you special. So on one hand, this doesn't mean that you have to put this image on as a sign of arrogance, as taking big pride into whatever you accomplished, but at the same time, you cannot deny the value of all your experiences and the value of the person you have become. Now, in certain circumstances, the Elder of the Earth, which is the card of mastery, does have very palpable and physical connotations, as in reaching mastery in a certain profession, as in gaining relevant experience in one industry or a domain or a layer of society, which gives you a social power as well, which makes you a highly skilled professional. But for other people, this just has to do with the laws of nature. This has everything to do with how you view life, how you view earthly existence, and this means that you have invested many years, many even decades of self study. You try to understand what the physical representation of life, of earthly existence, basically what physical reality means in a very scientific way, because science is the language, science is the methodology through which we can interpret how physical reality is built and how the unwritten rules of nature and existence and the cosmos are. And your self study, your scientific approach to life, your desire to interpret everything as realistically, as logically, as rationally as possible has given you a very strong position of self mastery, because understanding what life is, understanding what nature is, understanding how the universe works in a very logical, scientific way is already the key to freedom. But your path of study has led you to a knowledge that personal perception, your psychological configuration, and spirituality and even faith are a very big determining factor of what physical life means to you, and there are certain universal truths, big unwritten rules, which are highly controversial because these are no longer part of science, but they are very close to the border between science and fiction, science and faith, science and psychology, so to speak. So, all of this, your unique perception, your study, the labor that you input, harvesting the fruits of your labor, has made you a person who is absolutely worthy to think of themselves as a teacher, as a master, but at the same time, since you can never stop learning, you can never stop evolving, exploring, that means that you're also a student, and this dichotomy, this duality that you're both a master and a student at the same time, makes you humble, it makes you a very supportive person, it makes you gentle, and just as the image depicts, it helps you find your true path in life, the true meaning of your current existence, and you're investing all of your work, all of your powers, all of your ambition into helping others understand their own lives and what physical reality means to them that much better. And this in itself make you stand that much closer to the divine, to the soul of nature, to the intelligence of nature, because that which is invisible to others, but visible to you because of your awareness and perceptions and self-knowledge, can use you as a portal, as a channel, as a metaphysical internet connection, so to speak, to exist in this world and to act through you, especially through your work, whatever you express, whatever you show and project onto others, and ultimately by allowing yourself to fulfill the role of your archetype, which is support, which is an inspirational person, which makes others reflect and think. And of course, this also has a shadow side because by expressing your own truth, you challenge the fixed and rigid ideologies and dogmas of others. Now, the challenge of this card is really simple because you have done all this work, but now, finally, when you can look at yourself in a very objective manner, do you dare? Do you have the courage to believe in yourself? Have you finally found all the reasons, may they be logical reasons or reasons which have to do with faith, to embody your archetype, your role with infinite pride, with infinite self-love, with infinite confidence that you have done all the work to become this person, you have done all the sacrifices needed to embody this role, so it's perfectly natural, it is perfectly logical. It would be even silly to be otherwise. So you have all the support of the universe, the divine intelligence, nature herself, the invisible forces are supporting you because you are not rigid, you are not fixed, you are not a slave to your own mentality, which means that because you also embody being a student always, the universe can evolve through you, and the universe, the intelligence of the universe, can perceive itself, its own systems, its own functions through your mind and through your perceptions. So basically, you have all the reasons to trust yourself. You have all the reasons to believe in yourself. You have all the reasons to take any leap of faith that your heart requires you to take because everything supports you. And this support is not unconditional because you worked for it, so you deserved it. So you have to receive this reward. You showed everything, the universe, the source, how serious you are. You've always been seeking the truth, even unconditionally, even when there's no benefit in for you, even when you didn't gain anything out of this but sheer knowledge. the sheer sense of satisfaction for knowing, or at least having an idea about what reality and physical life, the universe is. So this card challenges you to step into your position of power and believe in yourself infinitely because you've worked for it. The universe wants to support you, but it needs you to develop a sense of self trust and confidence to the maximum levels possible. Don't be afraid that you'll become selfish, self-centered and all that, because the shadow side of this card represents the fear that maybe you take yourself too importantly, you think too highly of yourself. But since you're an eternal student as well, and since you have so much relevant experience, how can you? How can you be selfish and self absorbed when you already know what that is? When you already know yourself, when you already know your psychological processes, so you can stop yourself every time your ego wants to do this. You don't need anyone's recognition. You don't need anyone's support. You know what you know because you studied it, you researched it, you sacrificed for it. So you have all the reasons to confide in yourself, to believe in yourself, and not to fear your shadow side because you have it totally under control. Now, the opportunity represents the three of air, represents a big purpose of yours, which is to leave your knowledge, your study, your research, your personal experiences as a legacy for future generations. Now, some people might be guided and inclined to write a book, to express their experiences through writing, while other people might have a totally artistic approach to this, so they might be investing their wisdom, their experiences, their own personal powers in poetry, in arts, in painting, in music, while other people are being guided to adopt a very modern, futuristic approach, so they may be building up a database of their experiences like a journal online through digital means, social media, a blog, or maybe videos, or maybe something even much more revolutionary that I can't even think about. But whatever the three of air means for you personally, the universe encourages you that this is a perfect opportunity, especially under the present limitations and circumstances, for you to express yourself, for you to start writing your volumes, for you to give a palpable shape and form to your experiences, and ultimately, absolutely, you're leaving everything that you create right now, your gesture of concentrating all your experiences into one manifestation, as in your work or whatever you have to share, your methodology of self expression, yes, this is going to serve the future and future generations, not just the knowledge, the info themselves, but your attitude, your personal story, how you got here, your sacrifices, your ambition, and perhaps the most important lesson in all of this, what you're going to leave to our successors, is that life is always dual. Something which seems so negative, so defeating, so suffocating at one moment in life can mean a totally different thing, can take a totally different shape in the future, where that past negativity can now be the biggest blessing of your life because it forced you to go where no one has ever gone before, through filling your life with challenges and obstacles, and maybe for some people that sense of curiosity, that desire and obsession for knowledge, torturing your mind to overcome itself. So basically, what you're showing to the world is negativity, bad events, misfortune, especially those limitations and problems in life which don't have to do with you and your choices. They just come either as karma or as coincidences or as the course of fate. Now, those may be really devastating the moment when they take place, but in the future, they always turn to something really valuable, the true alchemical gold, so to speak. So, by sharing your story, by allowing others to gaze into whatever you have went through in this life, you're encouraging others not to fear the dark night of the soul, not to fear losses, not to fear failures, not to fear themselves, not to fear their own destiny, not to fear their own stories, because the universe is actually a benevolent force. It is the world's most beautiful, talented, wise astrologer Nadia Shah always says the universe is wise and loving, and your life is a prime example of this. Think about it this way: if the universe and all its interconnected elements are one system, it means that it's a living, breathing organism. Well, it has to serve itself, it has to love itself, it desires its own well being, and that means it has to desire the well being and harmony and empowerment of all of its components and the communication between those components. And this is something that you are probably going to share in your book or whatever you choose to express yourself and share your story. The resolution, Elder of Fire. Now, this gives you a glimpse of your future, but the more distant future, because there is a time in life when you try and master the physical world, the Elder of the Earth. Then there is a time in your life when you have to share whatever you have learned, and by sharing it with others, you learn even more and you overcome your limitations even more, because if others see truth in your reflection of it, that means that you're creating a reality which is much kinder, much stronger for a collective, and you're a relevant member, you're a relevant component of that collective. So the love and appreciation of others who you help are going to empower you even more, but of course not in a selfish way. It has nothing to do with becoming a star or whatever. It is just your life, your soul's mission, so to speak. And then there comes another part of your life when you reached full maturity, when you no longer need anything external to help you connect to your mission, to your soul, to the universe. Then you become the Elder of Fire, someone who uses their power, uses their passion, uses the flames of desire and love for the truth, for the universe, for life, for other people, to make significant changes in the world. And also, this means having the courage, the confidence not to fear absolutely anything in life. And that makes you a warrior of justice, a warrior of love, a teacher who no longer teaches the classic way, but who only teaches through living life and being an example for others. No more sharing this and that. You take action, and this is the future where you're guided to. This can offer you the freedom to choose different ways, different forms. Of course, you're going to experiment with it because your curiosity never dies. But ultimately, you are going to become a true elder. You're going to become a true ancient soul, manifested, embodied, present here on earth. And basically, if that is not the ultimate representation of what mastery is, then I don't know what is. Today's oracle reading encourages you to stay strong on your path, to acknowledge your own successes, to take pride in everything that you have accomplished so far, mostly on an intellectual and soul level, and of course to believe in your path, to believe in your destiny, to dare to be the hero of your own story, because all of this is leading you to the position where you always dreamed of being. And ultimately, this life is really important for you, because this is the big resolution of all your previous lifetimes, because you have always been a warrior, you have always been a scientist, a researcher, and you might even have deja vu experiences of this. But it is now, in this lifetime, when you're going to truly harvest the fruits of your labor, and that this isn't a personal harvest, but as humankind as a collective is going to step into something new which you helped create, not just in this life, but in very many previous lifetimes. And if you ever face moments of weakness, moments when no one supports you, moments when you feel totally alone and abandoned, remember that this is the future you're heading towards. So you need to endure, you need to defend yourself, and most importantly, believe. Believe in your destiny and your life story. Thank you so much for listening. Have a blessed and wonderful day, everyone. Bye for now.